Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the Trinity Continuum rules by Onyx Path Publishing. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. While we try hard to stick to language for all ages, listeners should know that this podcast may include mature themes and various hijinks. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., which may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. And now, on with the show. Thank you for joining us again in another episode of the Old Ways podcast. I am normally your keeper or handler, Michael Diamond, but tonight I am passing the torch, and it looks like the pane of glass over to James. So, storyteller James, take it away.
Thank you, Mike. I will gladly take it away. Tonight, we are once again sojourning into the Trinity Continuum. This time, we are landing in a little port called Anima. Anima is a cyberpunk setting, a little bit future, a lot of neon glitz and glamour, and it seems like it's going to be quite a bit of fun. So before we visit the city of Cascade in all of its virtual wonders, let's see who is in fact going along for the ride. Next to me at the table is...
Hi, this is Miranda, and I'm playing Cam Gray, a medical practitioner, though it sounds like I might be a little bit shady based on my character sheet. A medical practitioner for price.
Sure. Well, that's all doctors are medical practitioners for a price. It's just the price really is the part that society really puts its eye on.
I work on a sliding scale.
Right, exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. Next to you at the table.
This is Morgan. I play Ember Neon. I am an influencer, so we all know what that means. I really like all the attention, and I like making money doing it.
And if you can get that balance correct, it will just flow right in, won't it? Next to you at the table, lastly at the table.
Hi, this is Mike, and I am playing Rip Bonick, who is a combat specialist mercenary. He is literally a nobody, and if he died today, tomorrow, or the next week, no one would miss him.
There's a certain freedom that comes with that anonymity, though, right? That kind of live fast, live dangerous. And living fast and living dangerous is a good portion of what the city of Cascade is all about. Cascade is the city of the future, built shortly after the Aberrant War and the Great Exodus from Earth, when all of the Aberrants gathered those around them, either by coercion or by force, and left Earth en masse for the stars. And the horrors of the Aberrant War finally subsided. The aftermath of society picked itself up, put itself back together slowly, but surely. And one of the first bastions of culture, of hope, the flagship of the FSA, we think of as North America, is the city of Cascade. One of the greatest pieces of technology that helped form the city of Cascade, and indeed is helping heal the wounds and put the world back together, is a little piece of technology called glass. Glass is a very small disc that is compulsorily inserted into the brain when you're 16. The operation is momentary. Yes, there is quite a bit of disorientation, but you barely remember that. What you do know is that you use it every day for everything, from ordering food, receiving calls, just looking at the world around you, transforming from a gray utilitarian block to colors spinning through the air and impossible landscapes. Impossible colors around, and it enriches your life and applies an opiate to your soul that helps you swallow the bitter pill that is what the world has become now, which is harder, crueler. But that's not for you to find out, is it? What you have to do is earn some money. Same old story, same old trade. And at that, you find yourself standing in a parking lot in a neighborhood called Richmond, built several layers tall, and seemingly from end to end a sprawling market of everything imaginable. The lights, colors, and sounds of the market swirl all around you, flitting through the air. Birds fly by, singing the names of stores. Products, images of products, walk by and greet you on the street, ushered along by shopkeepers as like a herd of sheep. Ripmonic, you find yourself leaning against a van. It's an older van, dinged up, but the plates are good. And leaning out of the window is someone that you've worked with once before, named Cam. Cam, you are fiddling with the controls. This is your van. It's one of the last vestiges of things that you owned after your job loss, we'll say, in the last place you worked.
I mean, I didn't lose it. I know where it's at.
Yeah, it's still there. You didn't lose it. It's just it doesn't want you around as much anymore.
Yeah, screw that job anyway.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the hours were terrible, and they asked a lot of questions. Every time something went missing, they were all like, where's it at? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, make a better buck on the side anyways.
You very much do. And in fact, that buck is what lured you to this parking lot and to your acquaintance, Ripmonic. The two of you, as I said, are in this parking lot when a cab pulls up. And Ember, you were given this address by the man that hired you, or the person that hired you, whose name was Cent. You're not sure if it's spelled with a C-E-N-T or an S-E-N-T. Cent hired you for 2 months of premium subscription glass, as well as 300 in money, which is, I mean, it's not terrible. You could probably do better, but honestly, it's been a while since you've had a paid gig, a sponsor, as you like to think of it in the world of influence. And so you find yourself standing in a neighborhood that you're only marginally familiar with. You see across the parking lot, there is a van. You were told that you would be meeting 2 other individuals. It seems as though there they are.
I'm gonna wave over.
You two were both told that you would have one more person working.
Yeah. And it's pretty easy to assume that this cab shows up, but this is probably our person, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of do like a little nod wave gesture for them to come over.
Yeah, I walk on over. Hey, what's up, party people?
Hey, I'll put out my hand and shake. Cam, that's my name.
Well, I'm Ember. You don't know who I am?
You can make me an intelligence culture roll if you want to.
Ripmonic is going to opt to fail that because there's no way. First of all, culture, no.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you a moment, but you're like, Ember Neon. Okay, you have heard of Ember Neon. She is an influencer. Mm-hmm. She covers various things. You haven't heard very much, but you've heard the name.
Yeah, I look directly at her and say, I don't think I have.
Well, you know what? Whatever.
What do you do?
Yeah,
right. I give the people what they want. And what they want is me. More me.
He probably gives you a really like screwed up facial feature look. Like he doesn't understand if you're actually speaking English or not.
Well, are we doing this job or are we going to sit around all day fiddling with shit?
He shrugs and get back in the van.
As you get in the van, and Ember, when you also head over to the van, when you get in proximity to it, a small black cat appears, literally pixelates and appears between Rip and Cam on the console, the center console. Its eyes are kind of sparkly. It looks back and forth between you. It is complete glass, obviously. It looks back and forth at you.
Thank you for accepting the job, folks. You're helping me more than you know.
The fuck?
Sorry, guys. I didn't want to chance sending a direct, obvious message to you guys or anything, so I thought maybe a chatbot would work better.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So before we continue at all, to really help you guys immerse yourselves in the world of Cascade and what it means to have glass implanted into you, what do your street avatar, what are there any changes? Do you have any, for example, do you have any cosmetic changes that you have implemented, as you can purchase them essentially as apps? They don't cost that much. So if you want pointed ears, you buy it, and your glass not only produces that pattern on your visual, like when someone looks at you, but it also implants that on everyone else's glass within nanoseconds.
Okay.
So that is what everyone else sees you as well.
Yeah, I think I probably look like a guy who has relatively short cropped blonde hair. I wear mirror shade wraparound sunglasses. I wear a sort of a crimson red shirt, A-frame shirt. I probably have a couple of sort of a pair of, I guess, bandoliers that come up. They're not full on, like, I can't think of the name of this right now. So they're not full on suspenders, but they could be. They could look like that. I wear heavy, sort of gray-green pants, and yeah, that's pretty much what I look like.
Okay, excellent. Do you have any glass upgrades currently active? For example, any glowing or subdual of your visual audio, that kind of a thing. Some people will go so far as to have incidental music and such. That's a little expensive and oftentimes a vanity thing. But when it comes to glass, literally, like, I think of it as phone apps applied to the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where you're at with glass. Miranda, what does Cam look like?
I think Cam would go for unassuming but trustworthy. Being a medical practitioner on the side, some people don't want to come to you if you look too sketch. The only real, like, physical change upgrade that Cam has made is to have kind of a pale bluish gray skin with amber eyes, because that looks super sweet. But otherwise, blonde hair, like a really light blonde, short on the sides, a little longer on the top hair. And other than that, pretty cleanly dressed, usually in some sort of long sleeve button up, tucked in, dark gray or black pants. So other than the kind of cosmetic skin upgrades, the clothing is a little more put together.
Okay. So yeah, you have the cosmetic skin and eye upgrades that didn't cost you very much at all. It was kind of a lark purchase that you made at one point. You woke up the next morning and were like, oh, actually, Morgan, what does Ember look like?
She's probably about 5'6". She's got really abnormally bright blue eyes, so she's probably got the cosmetic, like the appearance upgrade for the glass. She has silver hair, and it is shoulder length, just a little bit above shoulder length on one side, and the other side is shaved. She's wearing black pants, and then with that, a gray cropped shirt, some silver suspenders with that. Not like your grandpa's suspenders from, way back when, but like, let's think futuristic, really stylish looking suspenders.
Right. The hip new take on the suspender concept that has come full circle.
Yep, and her shirts, she got to use what she has, or use the glass to help, use what her shirt in front is a little bit, it's V-cut, a little short, kind of helps with the views and, gaining subscribers.
Yeah, did you opt for the bust package?
Obviously.
The three of you are, yes, comfortably in Cam's van, which is looks to be pretty well maintained, a little beaten up on the outside, but the inside shows that Cam does take care of their vehicle, knowing that it is a tool with which is actually quite important for a lot of their job. The cat continues on. So now that you're all here, its little paw comes up and taps something you can't see, and a small map appears hovering in front of you. This
is the site you have to pick up the object from here.
zooms in. It's about 6 blocks from where you guys are at currently. He says,
this is where you need to go.
And he scrolls twice on the map and points another dot further down in the city, all the way at the other end of 2 districts away. This is not going to be a quick drive. This is like driving across the city.
Okay. Well, how's your pilot, Cam?
It's pretty good.
Cool.
I'm a decent enough driver I'm a decent enough driver.
Let's rock.
The cat nods and says,
all right, well, thank you. And the first half of your payment is already being credited to your account.
Each one of you gets a little pop-up next to you as a small green $ icon flashes briefly in the upper left corner of your vision.
Sweet. I love prepayment.
So we'll call it a carrot before the cart, so to speak. I like to incentivize the people that work for me.
The cat climbs up on the dashboard.
There is a time limit. You guys have a day, and that is it, all right? And be careful.
Okay.
It turns and walks down the dashboard to the edge of the window.
Any questions before I go?
And what's in the box?
You're not getting paid for that.
Fuck.
And it leaps out the window, the closed window, and depixelates as it does, so it just vanishes.
All right, well, let's rock.
Papa just pop something on the radio along the lines of I want to rock.
And you pull out of the parking lot, I assume, and out onto the city and the streets of Richmond.
Yep.
That is what we do, yeah.
The district of Richmond was named after one of the 4 generals that led the human armies during the Aberrant War. It is, as I said, mostly a market district. There's everything from actual building stores to stalls to floating ad clouds that are not, they don't even have a physical representation. You just interact with them on your glass. It is easily overstimulating cacophony of sounds, sights, and real and pseudo smells. Driving through Richmond is not a fast process. After about 15 minutes, Rip, you find yourself hanging out the window a little bit, easily making eye contact with people. As Cam, you are pretty consistently laying on the horn. But after about a half an hour's drive, you finally manage to get out of the worst part of the foot traffic and to a series of back warehouses and storage units for the Richmond district, often referred to in local vernacular as the pantry. This is where a lot of the drones get their products from. So there's not a lot of actual sales here. This is more product storage and inventory. Your van quietly creeps through the city, as it's electric, so it doesn't need to make a lot of noise. Few more minutes of driving through these dark and back alleyways. You pull up outside of, it looks like an old warehouse building. And by old, I mean this looks like it was built when Cascade was built years ago, and time has not been kind to it. Some of the bricks and concrete are already starting to crack. The normal blocky facade of this area is, you won't say crumbling already, but definitely looking a little fringed around the edges. And you bring the van to a stop.
All right, we need to do a little recon. We're essentially supposed to gain access to this warehouse in some fashion, locate a package there within, and then take that package across town. So I suppose we need to scope this place out.
All right, so you hop out of the van and begin to scope. Rip hops out of the van.
Of course,
in a very practiced, smooth manner.
I said we could take different sides of the building too. We can split up. I mean, there's only a few of us, so rather than letting Rip do all the recon, we can kind of divide and conquer. Take a couple different sides.
Yeah.
You take the left side. Rip takes the right side. Ember, what are you doing?
Taking the door. There's the door.
Oh, going straight to the door? Okay.
Gain access. Check.
Yeah, she's the face. So my plan will be to sort of look at an intellect larceny. That's sort of where I'm going to aim my skill pool at.
All right. As you go around the right side of this large fairly dark outside building. Make me an intelligence larceny. Yes, please. You may also do the same, Cam, if you would like to. An int larceny as you're walking around here. Ember, you walk up to the main door and look inside, and there is one security officer sitting behind a desk inside. Go ahead and tell me your rolls whenever you guys are ready.
I have 2 successes on intellect larceny.
All right.
And I have 0.
And you have 0. Okay. Well, the thing you do find, Cam, is that there is no, to your vision, there is no accessible route around this side of the building. All of the windows are very high up. None of them are very large. And the one area you thought maybe had a camera, a drone camera, hovering nearby.
All right.
So you probably head back around, retrace your steps around towards the front. Mike, you find that there is a basement access door over here that does not look like it has a security drone or one of the old CCTV cameras here. You could probably use it if you could figure out how to unlock it.
Okay, I will message back to Cam and give them that information.
Through Glass, you can do a private 3-way link, so you can talk directly to Cam.
There's nothing more I would like than to have a 3-way with these people.
No, I totally understand. And that Glass makes it happen. The future's great, isn't it?
No, it's fucking terrible. This town needs an Anima.
Yeah.
So you could even snapshot a brief image and send it to Cam, with what you're saying.
I totally do so. I will send them a picture of what I see on this side and sort of highlight a potential entry point.
No, fucking thank Christ. I didn't see anything over here, so.
Okay. Ember, you hear in your Glass, you hear this background chatter, but you're currently focused on the security guard that has seen you and is now walking over to the door. He hits the large unlock button on the side. The door opens just a little as he pushes it out. Helping, ma'am?
Oh, hi there. My uncle told me to come pick up a package, and I just really need to get in there and get that. Can you help me out?
Uncle Pat, what? I don't. We usually just have drones. I mean, I see you occasionally. He goes back and starts looking at a clipboard on the counter, scrolling through the info on the clipboard. I don't.
Oh no, I don't think you get my drift. It's a special package for my uncle.
Are you using a lot of quotes there?
I was. Uncle.
Okay. Oh. He turns back around. And persuasion manipulation. You get a +2 enhancement if you have skilled liar.
Okay. I have 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay.
Oh, and James, for the folks at home and for the folks on here, can you remind us it's 8 and more is a...
You have 8 and up is a success. It's considered a success. And 10 agains are, if you roll a 10, you may roll it again and add any success that comes on that roll to your success pool. Is that 2 successes counting the 2 enhancement that you started with?
Oh, it was not.
Okay. So you had 2 more. So 4 total?
Correct. 4.
He, as so many have before him, buckles under the brunt of your batted lashes and your leaning against the doorframe. He turns around. This guy has probably not had direct verbal contact with anyone in a while, let alone someone that seems to be showing him some sort of attention. I suppose if it's for your uncle, he goes over and he kind of pushes the door open a little. Do you know exactly where the thing is? He steps a little closer as if he thinks that's okay.
Did Mr. Scent tell us where the package is in here?
He did give you a data upload of the map and door. It also at the bottom has a key code for the actual door itself.
Oh, I absolutely do know where it's at. Do you mind if I call my 2 friends? They're going to help me get this out of here for my uncle.
Are you glassing the other 2?
I am.
Okay.
Cam, Rip, can you meet me at the front, please?
Sure. You can hear like the wavering in Rip's voice. Like, is there a problem?
Oh no, my good friend. What's the name of the security guard?
Eugene.
My very good friend Eugene has, given us permission to go get my uncle's package.
You hear Cam stifle a laugh.
I didn't know you swung like that, but okay, whatever. I mean, people are people.
It's the future.
I'll come around at the front of the warehouse, attempting to be nonchalant, even though I mostly look like a 80s video game character.
All right. You Duke Nukem your way around the corner there.
That's correct.
Okay. you show up with your large amount of guile. I refer to Street Fighter here, not charm. You come about the corner. Cam comes just a moment before, as it seems like they were already on their way back around. So you get to the front door relatively the same time. The guard seems slightly taken aback by the fact that there are suddenly 2 other people here, and that he seems to have eyes almost only for Ember. When you guys get to the front door, you find it to be unlocked. Ember is standing in the small security lobby area, and the security guard is standing in front of her with his hand on the wall so that he's kind of doing that half block lean thing. Eugene is a small and sweaty man.
Yeah, I lean in a little bit and, just kind of run my finger down Eugene's, shirt. Is it okay if those 2 come in and help me? It is an awfully big package.
He says, I guess, if that's what you like, he's turning like bright red. He's doing everything in his power to try to think of something witty and failing just absolutely miserably. So you Cam and Rip step into this little area. It seems as though Ember has this guy dangling on a string. What are you guys doing?
I look at Cam and sort of do something which some cultures might seem as a wink, but likely looks just like facial twitches.
Mm-hmm. Cam gets a good laugh out of that.
You guys head through the security area while Ember is tied up with security.
I mean, if she seems to have his complete and undivided attention, if he is standing at attention for her, I'm going to do my best just to move past him.
You slide on past with barely a notice as Eugene is taken with the idea of that he has talked to a woman. While Cam and Rip slide by and into the stairwell proper and head up to the elevator area and up to the 3rd floor, which is where the package seems to be. Ember, how are you extricating yourself from this situation? Do tell.
Oh, I see that Cam and Rip have headed down the hall, and I look at Eugene. I'd love to stay and chat longer. I'll hit you up on my way back out and get your contact information. And I boop him on the nose a little bit.
Okay. That boop, he gets very red and very quickly goes and sits down behind the security desk and starts looking for something to write his information down on. And by the time he looks up and hands it to you, you're already through the security door.
Oh, I'm running down the hall.
Sliding between the closing elevator doors as Rip and Cam are standing there, extremely bemused looks on their faces.
Listen, we need to find another way out of this place because I can't go through those fucking doors up there. I can't get that guy's contact. Oh my God. They saw me in public with him?
Ember, you get an incoming message from an unknown message source. It's from a nearby sender. So, and it's a series of emojis.
Is it the eggplant emoji?
Oh, among others. Ember's head slumps for a moment, face buried in hand.
Oh, damn. They found me. All right, well, I'll block him when we get out of here. Yeah, but we need to find somewhere else to get out of here from. Like, we need another door. I can't.
You really are an influencer.
Elevator door opens on the 3rd floor. This storage garage-like atmosphere stretches out down the hallway here. Long hallway of identical doors on either side that just have symbols on the front that are to be scanned with glass that relay to the information of whoever is currently renting that unit.
All right, here, kitty. I sort of like begin moving through the space, thinking that like the cat will lead us to where the package is. And
well, we have a door number, right? Did we hit that? Are we there?
You bring up the door number, and it takes you a moment to orient yourself. Rip actually finds it first because he was the first off the elevator, and to orient himself, he's not the closest to it, but he points, walks across an aisle, and turns a corner, and you hear him bang on the door once. You scroll to but you go to the bottom of the message, and there is a 4-digit security number on the message you were sent from the cat. There is a numerical keypad next to the door.
Okay. I guess put the code into the keypad.
It thinks for a moment, and finally the light turns green, and you hear the door unlock as Cam and Ember come up behind you. Inside this unit is a dark gray metal box. As box is a weird term for it. It is definitely a rectangle of about 3 feet wide by about 4 feet long by about 4 feet high. It has various pieces of small machinery attached to it that seem to be forcing various energy and such through the device. There's a small closed window to look inside whatever this unit is. You're guessing this is it. It looks pretty complex.
Well, we were not paid to care what's in the box. We're just paid to move it.
Exactly.
Is this thing strapped down or is it just sitting in here?
It's just sitting in here. The only thing that's keeping it in here is that there are like 3 cables attaching it to various apertures in the wall that look like for electricity and or ventilation.
Cam, you think we're all right to move this?
They wouldn't have sent us here if we weren't all right to move it.
Okay. Rip's gonna sort of just scratch his chin and try to consider whether or not he can move this thing, like weight-wise.
Sure.
Is it going to be a team effort? Is this going to be a 2-man carry?
Rip, you kind of look at it for a moment and eye it up and down, go over and do the experimental couch heft to see how heavy it is. You lift it just a little, and it's going to be 2 of you, but it won't be too taxing with 2 of you.
Okay. All right. Cam, grab the send and we'll just, I guess, pivot it out this way.
Yeah.
You 2 grab it and you heft it up and begin pivoting it. As you lift it up, the 3 cables that were attaching it unplug. A series of lights on the top of the device activate, and you see a little panel that says battery mode active, 100%.
Oh, shit. No, we knew that was going to happen, I think.
Okay. Yeah. We just got to get it across town.
Yeah, that's probably why we said we had to do it today. Right.
So you 2 begin hefting this device out into the hallway. By the time you get back to the elevator door, your fingertips are turning white and you're starting to get that cramps on the ends of your fingers kind of thing, cramps in your hands. Like, I got to put it down.
In the room that we were in, James, is there any like carts or anything like that?
You don't see one here, but as they're moving it down the hallway, you do see one in looks like a corral at the far end of the hallway.
Oh, I go run and grab that and bring it back.
All right. So by the time you guys get basically to the point where you have to put it down from weight, which is, by the way, this thing probably weighs about 150, 160 pounds, maybe a little more between the 2 of you. It is still not light at all. When Ember comes and it saves the day by putting a rolling cart underneath it as you have to put it down.
Ooh, wow, this thing's heavy.
My athletics roll, please, from both of you.
Not my strongest. 2 successes.
10s roll again, yes?
Yes, they do. 10 again, definitely.
Okay.
So Miranda has
2 successes for Cam. Yep.
I have 7.
Total? Okay, so Cam, you are the one that has to put it down. You're about to and you take your hands off of it and realize that it actually hasn't been put down on the cart yet, and that Rip slowly lowers it down onto the cart without a problem. You are moving this as Rip sets it down on the cart. Rip, it's not heavy for you, it's more awkward.
Mm-hmm.
That awkwardness is when you set it on the cart, it sets down just a little cockeyed, and one of the battery packs becomes detached but loose.
Is there a panel on it, James, with a timer?
When that battery panel comes, or when that one battery pack comes loose, the 100%, which is now 99%, drops to 62%.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I don't think.
Fuck.
Yeah. I say, sort of get the cart prepared to move. Let's go.
You get it onto the elevator. Do you correct the battery pack as it goes, or do you leave it as is until you have a chance?
No, I'm going to try to correct the battery pack as I go.
Okay. You two get onto the elevator, and Rip reaches down and just gently pushes the battery pack back up into the device. The battery percentage jumps back up to 98%, and the whole thing then shuts off briefly, and then you hear a bing, boom, 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 boom as it restarts. It looks like maybe pushing the battery back in caused it to reboot. You sure that's okay, though?
Okay.
Should be fine.
Yeah, I guess.
The program that it seems to be running, it doesn't look like it stopped running at all. Whatever it's doing, whatever it's processing, because it is making now that you're in the quiet elevator, a low humming sound. What more concerns you is the window on the top slides open, and you see inside smooth ivory, almost porcelain material with small swooping lines on one side that form a picture of maybe a swan or a bird in flight. And after just a second, Rip, you realize you're looking down at a tattoo on someone's neck, or maybe their upper shoulder.
Huh. That's weird. Is that a tattoo?
The window that opens reveals a frosty pane of glass. When you instinctively reach out and rub your hand over the pane of glass, it wipes away a thin rime of frost, and you can see more clearly inside, and that is very clearly a tattoo on a neck, as you see just the very bottom of an ear as well.
The fucking head.
What the hell? We're picking up a thing, a living thing?
I guess.
Is there a body in here?
Are the three of you poking and looking in the window even more, I assume?
Yes, I imagine the view from inside the window is just all three of our faces shoved together to look into it.
Three confused and looking cyber individuals looking into this window and seeing indeed that this is the head and neck of a person. They are adult-sized, but not a very large person. Their skin is very pale. Their ears are pierced from what you can see, and they are nude. Of a more feminine build, we'll put it that way.
I mean, I didn't get into this business to transport humans. Well, I didn't get in this business to transport living things.
I mean, you drive me around all the time.
Frozen living things. You're thought out. You consent.
That's true. Either way, let's get this the fuck out of here.
Elevator reaches the ground floor. And the doors open. Ember, when the doors open, you are greeted with the thought of, this is now the point where you three now need to find a different way out, because the only other way out is out the main doors.
Did our cat...
Has not reappeared.
Rip spotted that one spot that we could maybe get in from. Maybe we could get out of that spot that Rip spotted.
Yeah, so...
He did spot a spot.
Yeah, listen, if it's not going to be an ingress, it could be an egress.
That's true. Come see the great egress. Rip, are you leading the cart and the other two to the door that you spotted earlier?
I know where it's at. I might as well go. There's a hole there. We can go through it.
All right. You get to the door. It is locked from the inside, so getting through the door is not a problem. It does seem like there's an alarm sticker on it, as in when you hit this door, it's going to set off the interior or the internal alarms for the building.
I look at Cam and then look back at the really hot chick who's here. Listen, as I said, Rip's not the most put together person. And I say, how much do you like Eugene anyway?
Do we... can we... You? Cam, can you jerry-rig this security panel so it doesn't go off when we go out the door?
Well, I'm a doctor, not an engineer.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I can give it a try real quick if you want.
A cunning technology roll.
That is 2.
Okay. Rip regards the door, squats down, looks at the security system and everything, and then with a great deal of finesse and technical know-how reaches up and pulls the power cord out of the alarm system. Just forcefully. Yanks it out of there. There's a spark or two, and the lights on this end of the building do go out, but no alarms go off.
Well, I'm impressed.
You guys are now heading out of the door, I assume, as Rip can now push the door open without a problem.
Yes.
All right. You get the box to Cam's van, and between the two of you, we'll make you roll again. Between the three of you, honestly, with Ember, you managed to get the box just barely into the back of the van with enough room for the three of you to still get in and to drive a bit. As you get into said van and begin to pull out, you see a pair of headlights on the far side of the parking lot turn on in the dim and pull out behind you.
I think we got company.
All three of you immediately notice this, as it's the only set of headlights that you've seen here.
Fuck, is what Cam says. Better strap in, gang. Buckle up.
Buckle your I buckle my straps. Rip probably pulls on his suspenders.
Okay. Snap, snap.
Likely a little too excited.
So Rip seems happy and plucky. Ember, what are you doing?
I'm sure there's shit bar the side of this van, so I'm grabbing that on the inside and holding on for dear life because I can't pretty up this fake face that I got going on here.
Right. And Cam, you, I assume, crank up the tunes and hammer down?
Yeah.
All right. So Rip grins, snaps his suspenders once, and begins looking back out the window at the car behind you. Ember grabs hold of the oh shit bar and hunkers down. While you're hunkering down, you can see that the panel on the device is now at 81%. Ember?
Well, this battery sucks ass. Listen, folks, we're at 81%. It's like having a plug-in all over again.
Whatever it is doing, other than keeping this person alive, it is consuming quite a bit of power.
God, people just suck the life out of things.
It's true. So Cam, you lay the hammer down and begin peeling wheels through the streets. The benefit of having a electric vehicle like this is that it is all go, and you do. You are whipping through traffic here along the actual outer traffic lanes, not the foot traffic that you had to drive through earlier. For the other two of you that are not behind the wheel, to call this a harrowing series of moments would really do a disservice to everything else that's ever been harrowing, as Cam takes chances in traffic that you would never have taken. She gets much closer to vehicles than you would ever comfortably do while driving. Cam, I need you to make me a dexterity pilot roll, please. The car is right on your tail the whole time, by the way, this vehicle that's behind you. It looks to be a dark sedan, tinted windows. This is not a low-end car. This is a very high-end, very expensive vehicle.
Dex pilot. Blech. Okay.
While Cam is making a dex piloting roll, Rip and Ember, what are your current actions in the back of the van as it's oscillating back and forth on the highway as Cam rapidly switches lanes and weaves through traffic?
I look over at Ember and say, I gotta tell you, I never thought I'd be in a place like this with a person like you.
Listen, big boy, if we survive this, I'll take you on a date later.
I don't think Rip knows how to process that, and so he just...
I'm trying to help keep the box steady back there, and I'm yelling up to Kim, hey, if you could just not kill us on the drive across town, that would be fantastic.
My car doesn't make the noises, but Cam does occasionally go. Vroom.
Very nice. So Cam is adding noises as you drive.
Because that's cool. 2 successes.
2 successes. Fantastic. Okay. You are just white knuckle in traffic here, like really cutting it to the living wire edge as you are flowing through traffic. You're a leaf on the wind. As you turn a corner to a sharp right, your rearview mirror on the side actually explodes into little pieces as you hear a gunshot ring out from behind you. Another one breaks the back passenger side window. Doesn't hit anyone, but now 2 bullets have gone into the vehicle as you are driving.
What the fuck? I just got those fixed.
All right. I put my hands up. I'm getting my gun.
Now you're getting your gun?
You unload your very favorite weapon. I'm sorry, your second very favorite weapon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe first. I don't know. I don't really have any weapons listed on the character sheet, so I'm going to assume that he has some sort of we'll just say automatic rifle.
Okay.
That he stands up in the back of the van, and you can see from his height and build, like he sort of braces himself against the top of the vehicle, and then he pulls open a locker that is on the bolted to the wall, and he gets out this gun, and then he'll head back to the back double doors of the van and just kick one of them open, just sort of open one of them, use the other one as cover. He will prepare to aim.
Fantastic. All right. So you make me a automatic weapon. Are you using a glass app for targeting as well?
Yes, absolutely. So I do have the glass app, the targeting app, and then I'm also going to spend an inspiration point for sharpshooter.
Okay, fantastic.
I also have that gift as well.
All right.
And so with sharpshooter, if I do gain a critical, then buying criticals after rolls are a little cheaper for me.
Right. Okay. So yeah, go ahead and make the roll. Cam is weaving through traffic and I assume is doing their best to trying to keep the vehicle as steady as possible for Rip's purposes, or are you like, Rip can deal with it himself? I'm driving.
Dodge. I gotta weave. Weave and dodge.
Got you.
Fuck yeah, he can shoot a gun. Lead the other car. It's fine.
Got you.
I like the idea that Cam is complaining the entire time.
Oh yes, is yelling and profanity and road rage and learn to fucking drive.
Shoot better. Oh my god.
Actually, that's a really good shot. Oh my god, that's a really good shot. So 6.
Okay. So you wedge yourself in this door frame as the back door of the van swings open. You grab the oh shit bar with one hand and you just depress the trigger with the other and unload directly into the windshield of this car behind you. The cars on either side of it swerve away in traffic. They go to the outer 2 lanes as this is a 5-lane interchange here. The car behind you takes 6-7 shots directly across the hood and the windshield and begins to slow dramatically as the headlights start to flicker and the car dies, dropping into the distance rapidly. That was a damn good shot. You almost wish you had gotten that one and you had been recording that, because that was something you want to show people at the bar later.
I'll yell somewhat meekly out the back of the van, sorry.
They accept your apology as the car drifts down into the distance. As the car dwindles into the distance of the red glow of the taillights, and you swerve further into the city of Cascade, the bright lights swallow the van and you lose yourself to the anonymity of the city briefly in hopes to get this package where it needs to go. And on that note, I'm going to bring it to a close for tonight. So I'd like to thank my players. I would like to thank our Patreon backers, because without you, none of this, really happens as well as it does. I'd like to thank you, our listeners. And most of all, I want all of you to have a great night. Thank you.